Okay? But the biggest thing is making sure we're not doing that. But that, to me, buckled knee, I don't like that. And the weight is in the heel. Sometimes that gets us too much depth, and we're coming in maybe a little bit too much from the inside from there. Okay? So my preference is for you to feel like there's a little bit of flex maintained in that knee. Okay, so if I'm in my position, instead of rotating and letting that knee come all the way out, I'd rather you feel a little hip rotation with that back knee remaining flexed. Okay? To me, from here, I'm athletic, right? Versus being back here, right? The buckled leg is not an athletic move. So if I have some element of flex in that leg, I'm athletic, and I'm able to kind of make a stable and consistent move back into the golf ball. So I prefer that kind of a feel. To have you practice that kind of a feel, a lot of times I'll have you take your normal setup, move your back leg in line with the ball, put your lead one close, and then back behind you. Okay, and we practice hitting shots from this position where this leg is sort of the stabling point of our golf swing. And we learn that our spine, our head, chin, knee, and foot are all quiet in that backswing move. Okay? So let's go ahead and hit one like that. So again, starting with your normal setup, this in line with the ball, that close and behind you. And then from this position, we'll probably see a little bit more stable knee action. Okay? So it's just teaching you how to make a stable move with your lower half maintaining structural integrity. Okay? Now with that flex, it does limit how much you can turn. And some people will have a lot of turn, and some people will have a little less turn. And I don't look for this to be any certain way. I just want you to be athletic. And I heard a conversation watching the Genesis Invitational yesterday, and they're watching Jason Day, and they showed him as a young golfer, a little more athletic. He would make a stable move, and he would keep that flex in that knee even with his hip working. Tiger Woods is another great example of that as well. But now, 2024, Jason Day is a little bit older, and they were talking about how he was trying to free up this hip and maybe not keep such a firm flex, and there's a little element of straightening there. Now, with that element of straightening, there's still flex. He's not popping all the way out like this, and I can't think of a major winner on tour that swings like that and works back down, right? I don't even care. You get the long ones in there if you want. Maybe a Dustin Johnson, but he maintains flex there. Rory maintains flex there. Tiger did. Jack did. Like any golfer I can think of that was a good player, they maintained a little bit of flex. So if it is about rotation depth and trying to get a little more turn, it's okay to straighten it up a little bit, but we want to have a little flex. We don't want it all the way straight to where all that weight is in our heel. Okay, I know there's some instructors and people that will fight me on that, but I don't think that those guys played any other sports, and I'll fight them on that. Because if I'm running, if I'm shooting a basketball, if I'm kicking a ball, playing tennis, all these activities don't ever have a buckled situation where we're athletic with our knees buckled or with our weight in our heels. And I attack golf from an athletic standpoint, okay? So, keeping that in mind, this is about maintaining a little bit of flex and having that foot in an athletic position so that we don't have to recover or try to return back to a position because we lost our original address position. No one takes their setup like this. And if you are, we got to stop that immediately, right? We always have a little bit of flex in those knees, not too much. We don't want to be too bendy because then we don't have any room to swing the golf club. But a little bit of knee flex with the weight even in the foot, if not favoring the balls of the feet a little bit, okay? So that's a thought there, all right? Now, going back to this idea of the back foot forward. It's something that I learned from watching guys and gals with prosthetic limbs. I'm a big Folds of Honor guy, and I love watching and learning how people play golf because it helps me fight my limitations and understand a little bit about myself by diving into how these people have to hit a golf ball. And I learned a lot by watching. I had a lesson with a client, and he had the prosthetic limb, and he takes it off before our lesson, and I'm like, what's going on here? And he maintained or kind of explained to me that he felt more stable on the one leg. He felt like he had a quieter spine on the one leg, and it was a more reliable swing throughout for him. Okay? So a lot of this back foot, right foot forward kind of an idea, it's teaching you that if this has to be stable, then now even if I turn or rotate, I'm only going to be able to do so much because I have to return back to that golf ball. Okay? Obviously with the two legs, you have the ability to make a little bit more of a turn. But if we're losing our weight that way, we have to fight back. And I believe if we're losing our weight too much in our heel with a buckled leg, this adds for a lot of inconsistencies because we're not athletic until we get a little bit of flex in that knee. Okay? So think about right knee flex maintained in the swing.